Welcome to the Christian Buddy Show. I'm Christian Buddy and I'm joined with Martin. How you going today, Martin? How are
Good,
you?
good. Christian, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a nice day, nice sunny day today in Melbourne. Now, the reason I got you down for the interview is because I met you at an event in the city and
That's
we spoke afterwards and I really resonated with yourself. You really kind of opened up a few new ways of thinking, and that's what your profession is.
Yes, absolutely.
You are an NLP specialist. Um, Now, people may be wondering, what's NLP?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually get that all the time. So thanks for asking and thanks for having me on the show.
That's all right, no worries.
Look, NLP is it's actually neuro-linguistic programming. That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
So it's really about exploring the relationship between how we think. So that's the neuro, and then we have the linguistics, which is how we communicate.
Yeah.
And the programming is the difference or the connections actually between the behaviors and the emotions we experience in our life. So it's a very powerful technique where we can assist people to communicate, think, and also to manage themselves in a much more effective way.
Yeah, right, okay. So do you have any, I guess, what are basic ways for someone to, I guess, change their behavior? Is there any methods that you follow, or like any teachings that you give to your students, I guess, or?
Absolutely. And look, the needs quite often of people I work with are completely different because of their experience, and that's already the first thing. We do have filters in our brain, so we have, or let's start from the external, we have our senses, where we filter in the external world. So we are hit with about 2 million bits of information every single second.
Yeah.
And we can't filter that all through and absorb it. So we actually delete and we distort and generalize information. So what's happened is the decision we make on what we take on and what we delete is quite often based on experience. And it doesn't matter how they are or if they are negative or positive, but we have a point of reflection on there where we say, all right, I experienced that before. What's happened the last time? That programming I spoke about before. And therefore we make a decision on the behaviors. How do I going to react of it? And unfortunately we had a bad experience last time, which is the trigger. We go into behavior of aggression or frustration. Whereas if we had a great experience, we are much more open and then approaching people and communicate in a different way. So this is just one way of how we address behaviors.
Address behaviors, okay. I mean, because myself, I'm quite spiritual, and I'm of the belief that, I guess NLP kind of shows us that, I mean, it might sound weird, but we are kind of robots. I mean, not robots, but like, it's kind of like we're programmable. We're machines, but we're not machines, if that makes sense. Like,
yes.
It's like almost like bringing back to the Terminator. Like, I was watching the Terminator today, and they showed a bit of footage where he was scanning, all these codes and whatnot. And that's what NLP reminds me of. I don't know, for some reason, it's just...
Actually it is, and great that you bring it up. It is in one way, and I think what we're talking about here is about the conditioning. We quite often condition ourselves to become a person we think we have to be.
Yeah.
But NLP is actually not about that. NLP is about creating self-awareness and becoming the person you actually want to be. So I think there comes the pressure in of society and sometimes our weird negative self-talk. I call them the gremlins. Maybe you saw that movie.
Yeah.
Those things are coming out and kind of tell you that you're not good enough and what are you thinking, what are you doing, and why do you even try? So I think we're putting a lot of barriers and limiting beliefs.
Where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, look, again, it comes from quite often from experiences, and it's phenomenal to see how often those experiences going back all the way into the imprint years. So somewhere between 0 and 7 years, where a lot of research actually shows that by the time of 7, we are pretty much programmed. And a lot of decisions we make throughout our life are still based on when we used to be
Wow.
a child. And that's quite often the problem where we need to, or where it's holding us back. So
In
NLP
childhood.
again, it comes back to changing beliefs and challenging beliefs to see if they're still working or not. And we need to understand beliefs have very strong emotions.
Yeah.
So every time we say I believe, it's based on an experience we had.
Yeah.
And exactly that belief that we created when we used to be a child, which kept us safe, is now today is actually holding us back.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And that's the part of evolution. We need to work, we need to change our beliefs as we grow.
Yeah,
And I'm quite
definitely.
controversial. Quite often I actually say beliefs are nothing else than convenient assumptions.
Convenient assumptions, yeah.
And I know that's what pushes some people's button already
Yeah,
because of the strong emotions of understanding or saying right and wrong. And I think that's where we have quite often problems in the world. But the
Yeah.
world is not just black and white, there's so much more.
yeah. I was going to make the observation that us as humans, right and wrong, we want to figure out what's right, what's wrong, what's the right way, what's the wrong way, and then if you kind of go against, if you go against the norm, people start to get upset, I guess. Like when you was talking about beliefs, people hold their beliefs so close to themselves, and if you try and change that belief about them, they get upset or
And quite often it's maybe not really about changing their beliefs because that is based on our thinking, but it's about realizing on how we can change things. And what sometimes works for you maybe doesn't work for me, and the other way around. So coaching, and I may want to take this opportunity to very clearly say coaching is not about telling people what to do. I think we have enough in formal education of people telling you what to do and how to think, or what to think even better. It's actually more about exploring opportunities and seeing or creating choice that you can say, you know what, I believe I'm going to keep going the same way down the path. Or, oh, I didn't realize that there's so many options I have. Now I actually consciously choose to go another way because it works better for me.
Yeah. What drew you to NLP? What was your reason to go into that field of work?
Yeah, one leads to the other. I was always interested in professional developments. I worked around the whole world. I worked with a lot of different cultures. I used to live in Russia, Bermuda. I worked on cruise ships. And then in 2001, I came over here to Melbourne. And over the years, about 25 years of work experiences, I had to manage quite big numbers of staff. And I think in today's world, we have a lot of technical skills, but not a lot of soft skills or leadership skills. So I was always interested about how can I manage or how can I lead people more effectively? How can I inspire them? How can I get the best out of them?
Yeah.
How can I create a win-win situation? So along the way, I came across NLP. And quite often it starts with almost like a podcast or an interview we have right now. You hear something and something, it triggers something within you. And you think, oh, that's interesting. I can relate to certain things that he said. And you start to do some research and you get more and more into it. And as you see the benefits, it just becomes a no-brainer. Absolutely.
As I said previously, I'm quite a spiritual person. Do you have any spiritual beliefs, or what are your beliefs, I guess, about the world?
Yeah. Look, I think I'm actually quite a spiritual person, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful example of people having different perceptions because of different experiences, different beliefs. A lot of people, I would say, have a relationship between spirituality and religion. To me, that's actually not the case at all. I think spirituality and religion are completely two mutually independent things.
Yeah.
And even that will trigger some responses in some people, and I am completely aware. But for me, spirituality is more about understanding that there's more than just you and I. It's about the greater goods.
Very good, yeah.
It's about understanding how I, as an individual, can contribute, and I think that's a big word. How can I contribute to create a better world? How can I create ripple effects within people, within my social environment, with my family, my kids, my friends, that creates those ripple effects further on, long after I'm gone. In other words, we're talking about a legacy.
Legacy.
So knowing what you want to be or how you would like to be remembered once you're gone, to me, that's spirituality.
Wow. Okay.
So I think, yes, I'm a very spiritual person in that sense.
In that sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Next question is, what if you could go back, if you could make a time machine, or if you could travel back in time, is there any advice that you could give to a 20-year-old version of yourself?
Oh yeah, that's. I think that would be. I think that would be quite a while. I would stay there and have a chat with myself.
Okay.
Well, I think it's actually a good thing, because if I would say, yeah, let's do the whole thing the same way, and I don't think there would be a lot of learning. So I think it's actually a great thing to look back and say, oh my God, it's just beautiful to see how naive and how innocent I used to be.
Yeah.
But coming back to your question, what would I tell you? What I would tell myself? I think I really would tell myself to give myself permission to screw up from time to time.
Yeah.
You see, I think quite often, and coming back to the robot you mentioned, too often we think we need to please other people out there. Too often those beliefs of fitting in and how do I going to be judged, and am I still belong to other people, holds us back. You know, it's almost a fear of failure, but also fear of being significant, the fear of success. There's a lot of self-sabotage in there. Yeah. So I would tell myself, just go on and screw up sometimes.
Yeah.
Or allow yourself to make mistakes. What I would tell myself as well is that take it on as feedback and make better mistakes, higher quality mistakes the next time.
Higher quality mistakes.
So it's not about just screwing up. It's not about just being the rebel. It's about learning from it and evolving. And I really believe that life is not a reversal. I think we only have one shot at it, and I want to make the best out of it.
Yeah, that's really good. Is there any other? I guess we'll keep it probably a short interview. I mean, is there any other advice that for someone that's interested in NLP or wants to learn more? What message can you give to a person like that? That's curious?
Yeah, look, curiosity is a great thing, and follow that curiosity. Go and do some research, or just give us a call as well on Profound Coaching, or just get in touch with us. It's very simple. Yeah. It's profoundcoaching.com.au, yep. And you will get further details on there. NLP is a great thing. NLP is a life changer. It's a different ball game.
Different ball game.
After all. It's interesting, my wife and myself, we were driving to some friends on the other side of town recently, and I had a bit of a chat with my daughter. She's 9 years, she's actually turning 9 next month. And my wife said, I'm sometimes wondering where we would be without having done or being involved in NLP.
Wow.
And I really believe, even if I wouldn't have pursued it in a professional way, the investment would be so worth it. Because, as I said, it is really life-changing.
Life-changing.
And we have quite a lot of different programs. We're not only doing the coaching, we're also sharing the tools. That's another belief I have. There's no competition out there. I don't need to hold on and hide my tools and resources to make it dependent. No, NLP is actually the opposite. NLP is about sharing.
Sharing.
It's about sharing so people become independent rather than dependent on the coach. So yes, if you're curious, please drop me an email even. I'm more than happy to get in touch with you and have a bit of a chat. And I'm actually offering a complimentary session as well.
Okay.
Because people need to see the outcome, and I want to give them value before they sign up.
Yep.
And
That's great.
I also need to see, of course, if I can assist them. And it's just a win-win situation. Absolutely.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I've been chatting with Martin. I'll pop all his website details, his contact details, so you can get in touch with him. It's been a great day in Melbourne. It's been good chatting with you.
Absolutely.
Martin.
Look at the backdrop
Look at the
here.
backdrop.
This is just
yeah,
fantastic.
It's amazing.
Melbourne, the place to be.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in other conscious beings out?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
There's
proof of that.
Yeah.
A lot of proof. That's all.
A lot of proof.
Swept under the rug. And I've definitely read a lot of things about that.
I've kind of come to the belief that I don't know where I've read it. I've picked up some information.